In my debut film, I was a part of a path-breaking film and a path-breaking script. So, really happy. I did Badlapur, even though it was just a cameo. I really wanted to be a part of a Sriram Raghavan film. I'd love to work with Sir again. Very interesting experience. It was really cool. Tushar, it's his first film, he's directed it, and very good teamwork. It has Abhishek Bachchan and Nimrat Kaur as my co-actors. अगर अच्छे roles लिखे जाएंगे तो अच्छी performances भी आएंगी, अच्छी फिल्में भी बनेंगी. You had Wahida ji, Madhubala ji, Nutan ji, Meena Kumari ji, Sridevi ji, Vajanti Mala ji, Hema ji, all of them, Smita ji. I wish I missed this opportunity of working with Irfan sir. Give him anything. He'll just make it look so easy.
So first and foremost, congratulations, Yami. Congratulations on a Thursday. What are you hearing from audience, from your colleagues, from your industry friends, family?
Thank you so much. Yes, the response to a Thursday has been really overwhelming. The messages are still pouring in, the love still pouring in, and I hope it never stops coming. Didn't anticipate the success to be at this level. You hope for these things, but you can't predict, right? There's only so much you can do, that give your best to a film and make sure it's you're true to the script and the story, and you give it all out. That's it. Rest you can't predict. But the way I think it picked up, right, I think from its release, the same actually with the media screening, and it's never happened in my career that I've had journalists, because everybody reserves their comments or whatever ratings they want to give, and we also wait. I mean, it's so awkward if you ask, hello, how do you like the film? That's why we're not even allowed there. But when messages started pouring it right from the first screening, it's never happened that any journalist would personally message me and tell me how much they loved the film right after watching it. So it started from there, and then the social media, I mean, the way it just like grew and grew stronger by each day, because it was just like a 1 week marketing campaign. It was not, we just released the trailer and the next Thursday we were just coming. So you're like, okay, okay, I hope people know that a film like Thursday is coming. And then I think it was the word of mouth and the fact that if people love it, they'll make sure that they spread the word. And, that is what really worked for us. So, yeah.
Was it difficult to come out of this space because you were filming during the pandemic as well, and it was kind of very, very difficult time that time as well?
Yeah, we started shooting just before we were hit by the second wave. So it was still very severe, and each and every day, I remember the journey from home to car used to feel like we're in some sort of those restricted zones or restricted area where there are no cars, there's barely any movement outside. Yet, of course, there was, the markets were buzzing somewhere remotely, but then you could sense the fear. But then when you reach a set, you have got to let go that to focus on the character. But the moment the director says cut, mask. One mask used to be there in the back pocket of my jeans all the time. एक बार वो frame में दिख भी गया. मैंने कहा अरे मतलब we'll show कि नैना टीचर ने रुमाल रखा था यार, please एक और मत करो उसकी वजह से. But then obviously we had to go for one more. But because that it will get you, right? I mean, no one wanted to get COVID, but you're shooting with the crew, you're shooting in a closed space, you're shooting with kids. You're shooting an intense film. You're shooting portions where you're switching between emotions. You got to work that out. You got to block the scene. You got to play with the geography, with the expressions, and then the way film progresses. And then we had to call it a break because there was pandemic. Then I got married. Then I came back and had to shoot the climax portion of the film, which, trust me, nobody in the that frame of mind when you just gotten married, even if you're getting back to work, that's not what you want to get back to,
right? Exactly.
And so it wasn't easy. It was very difficult. And the day I said goodbye to Naina, it was a mixed emotion of a breather, a sigh of relief, and very emotional also. I remember while giving my goodbye speech, which I'm very bad at clearly, I just choked because there was so much that went in from me to literally reach Nena's soul and to get her out there. And which is what I think a lot of people, when I went through the all the response, and when they said we connected a lot in those last 15 minutes, what happens, and when she talks, you have to, I mean, then the work had to be, if it's reached your heart, then it had to come from from there. So yeah, a lot went in making that.
Right. I think the withdrawals must be like very difficult to just get over it. I think after a point, I feel like that.
No, there was no time. There was no time. I had to switch and jump to another film. I wish there was time. You need time, right?
Right.
Especially when, like, if you learn a physical activity, you're tired, you fatigue. That's very different. But when it's a mental, emotional, anything to do with that, it takes. We know it takes any day. More. Although it's a skill that you have to develop to really switch on and switch off. I heard Irfan sir's, I watched one of his interviews where he mentioned that, yes, we all go through this, but then we make sure that as actors, we develop skills. It shouldn't be just, ho gaya, so work on that. So yeah, I'm learning that process and had to start shooting for the next. So there was no time.
Right. Has it been a pretty validating experience in terms of how people have perceived your performance?
I stopped seeking for validation long back. As much as you desire it,
yeah.
But you need to let go the urge to seek validation for your work, for yourself, for your identity. So I did that long back. I think it's still work in progress, but I'm pretty much there now. But yes, I'm happy. I'm happy, and I feel more confident all the more that, yes, for all these years that I wanted to do, and I wanted to do good roles, I wanted to, have filmmakers have faith in me that I can pull such characters, or such diverse characters, or such complex characters, different genre characters. It took time. It took experience, and it's fine. It's my own experience. I took my own time. I learned from my own mistakes, and that's what's going to happen in the future as well. Yes, there have been roles which I've done in the past where I'm very proud of those roles. But if it depends also actually कि आप recognition किसको मानते हैं, आप validation किसको मानते हैं. For some it must be, अरे अगर आपको award मिलेगा ना, तभी है you've arrived. But नहीं, and we all as newcomers, 10 years back, it's going to be 10 years of Wiki Donor soon. We all thought of it. You dream of these things. Yeah, one day when I want to be there, sit there, that's your moment, I've arrived. No, but then, the lesser expectations you have, the more practical you are, and the more focused you are on the craft of it and how you see your career shaping up, rather than it being dependent on somebody else's decision, which has a lot of factors as a part of it. In that deciding factor, you have to let go. You have to, cut those cords. So now I'm at a point where I'm just waiting for good scripts. I'm just waiting for good roles. I'm just waiting. I just want to work with people who are excited to work with me, whom I'm inspired to work with, and make some good cinema. That's it. Baki sab, and audience. When the majority of audience is with you, I think that's great. There'll always be a section which will not be happy, or will always feel, no, this didn't work out. You still weren't good enough. You still want this. Yeah, that's okay. But when you also have to be realistic about what film or what performance are you talking about. I can't be delusional ki, it's really a bad one or not a nice one, but I'm expecting some great things out of it. No, I can't. You always know it in your heart. So for a Thursday, I was very confident that yes, this is not just for the heck of it. Isse pehle bhi I was offered some female headline, female actor headline films, but that's not enough. It's got to have a good script, a story. Yes, it was a little bit of a plunge with the Thursday. We know to what extreme she goes and all the things that happen, but that's okay. That's a fictional story. That's a fictitious character, and uh, it's a film at the end of the day. But the story is important. The message it has is important, and the experience in which we take you through that climax. I think that's important. So I've answered. I have a feeling 4 of your questions in one. So
my next question was supposed to be at the ending of it. Basically, I think that okay, it's a film. Maybe I can understand why she's going this extreme. But if I think in a very realistic kind of a way, it's like this is not going to happen. Like in many ways.
No, it's a fictional story, and also there has to be a payoff of whatever you have done. It's never that one scene that gets you. It's a progression that leads to that culmination, and that was required for that character. That then the whole purpose of creating that entire setup of what the story was doesn't make sense if it doesn't have a bigger purpose. We've had many hostage dramas before, internationally also, here also, but yet they're all different. They're all different ways of carrying it out. Sometimes it's a pure hostage drama. Sometimes it comes with an undertone of a social message, and I think when it comes to women's security, women's safety, I don't think it's irrelevant at any stage or at any point of time, and now especially all the more. So hence this was the writer's way of taking this course.
You have, like, I think you've been in the last couple of years you've been offered pretty interesting roles, be it Uri or Bala or now this. You have like a big set of lineup coming up, and these are good projects. What are some of the things that you can tell me about the upcoming projects, and what kind of roles, what kind of performances are these that people should look forward to?
What people should look forward to, I think the lesser I speak, it's always the better. But still, just to put it in a nutshell, I have Dasvi coming up after this, which you'll hear formally soon. It talks about the education system here, and with an undertone of humor. I play a cop in that film, and I'm the jailer. So very interesting experience. It was really cool. Tushar, it's his first film, he's directed it, and very good teamwork. It has Abhishek Bachchan and Nimrat Kaur as my co-actors. Had a fabulous time collaborating. So I think this is also going to be totally a different one from what you've just seen. Then it'll be Lost. Lost, been directed by Anirudh Roy Chaudhary. I play a journalist in that film. I play a crime beat journalist. It's an emotional drama with an undertone of an investigative thriller. Just an undertone of an investigative thriller. But that's not a Thursday thriller. That's a very different kind of a thriller. That's a Tony Dazold thriller, and talks about a lot of things, including media integrity in today's time. And so that'll be interesting. Then it's the sequel of Oh My God. I play a lawyer in that film, and that also talks about a very relevant topic, a very relevant subject, and how that coexists with our faith, in very, very interestingly done again. And then I have another film which I can't talk about, but I've finished shooting. I'm still waiting properly for the producers to announce it, but that's also a thriller. And again, even that girl's journey, the character's journey, is quite a thing. That's a thriller, but again, a different kind of a thriller. Then I have another one which I'm going to start shooting like now. It's called Dhoom Dham, and that's a romantic, emotional comedy drama. Yeah, I won't say emotional, actually, a romantic comedy. And because when there is romance, obviously there'll have to be an undertone of those real emotions or whatever, something like that. So that's also very interesting. Again, very interesting role. That's the most used word by me these days. It's interesting. So what to do when you can't talk much about your roles in films?
I understand. Yami, I think it's a very good time to be an actor. I think like 5 projects back to back. It's a good time to be an actor, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's ऐसा नहीं है मतलब पहले भी अगर आप देखो, I shared it with Faridun also. We've had such legends working at a time where things like women empowerment and female leading roles, they were not even, I don't think they were part of any conversation back then. You had Vahida ji, Madhubala ji, Nutan ji, Meena Kumari ji, Sri Devi ji, Vajanti Mala ji, Hema ji, all of them, Smita ji, I think, and so many more. There's been a Mother India at that time also, which did tremendously well at the box office as well. And these actresses and so many more who I've mentioned, they've left a very, very deep impact on our Indian cinema for all the right reasons. But now, yes, now there's no dearth of opportunity. Now you have different mediums. Now the challenge is how to stand out. Because when there is so much happening, you may not remember, a week later or 2-3 weeks later, अच्छा वो film भी आई थी, अभी आई थी, हाँ. नहीं, it's a very short span. Suddenly something springs up and then it just comes down. But that longevity which comes, or that recall value, that's only going to happen when brilliance will stand out. So that's where we all have to pull up our socks.
But I think you did have a recall moment. I think maybe because I think I had watched you on television and before everything else started, and then when Vicky Donor happened, and I think Vicky Donor has such a repeat value, so you constantly watch it again and again. And I think now that you're about to complete a decade, I think it's so overwhelming and enriching as well, right? You just like it's a good sustenance is so important in this industry, but also like good performances that you've kept doing to a point where now that opportunities are even bigger and better.
Yeah, that's the idea, because it's the characters which are going to stay. Now the idea and definition of a star has really evolved. Now it just doesn't, it's everybody's a star now in their mind, and it's who is a star or what is a star. That's not just defined now by only box office anymore. Although cinema, that cinematic experience, and to watch a film or to watch yourself or a film of yours, that's a very different experience altogether. And I would love to dabble between both the mediums. But yeah, I think this is it. I think the idea is, which is where I shifted gears in 2019. I was looking for these roles that, okay, even if I'm not the out and out lead, and we need to stop thinking like that now, because if we look in the West, they don't really care. Even if they have 15 minutes role, 20, but they're some of the most biggest actors, but they do everything and whatever they like. So we need to, I think, come to a point which will happen. Nothing happens overnight. But we need to have let go a lot of these fears which are there. And they're fears because it's true. Ki, acha, agar maine ek film mein, if I have a kid in this film, I'm going to get only these roles. When I did Badlapur, even though it was just a cameo, I really want to be a part of a Sriram Raghavan film. I'd love to work with Sir again. But my reservation was, no, but I'm telling you honestly, there was a kid in that role and everything, because these things are fed. These things is what you see around. Ki, acha, aapki image, you need to look in a certain way. You need to project yourself in a certain way. That's what I'm saying. That's why you have to evolve as an actor and think beyond these things and see the bigger picture. Like today, we are lauding, Kate Winslet for what she did in Mayor of Easttown. Yes, she's a very mature actor. She's such a terrific seasoned actor. She came after a long time with being a grandmother. Whatever circumstances in that show are, but because it doesn't matter. So here also now, I think opportunities are growing, are evolving. Good roles are being written. अगर अच्छे roles लिखे जाएंगे, तो अच्छी performances भी आएंगी, अच्छी फिल्में भी बनेंगी. वो उतनी सी बात है. चाहे आप out and out commercial film करो, या एक बिल्कुल content driven film करो, कुछ भी करो, but you need to have some substance in your role. You need to have a pivotal part in what you do, and you need to be acknowledged for that. That's it.
You are going to complete 10 years. Is there a particular memory on your debut film that you recollect? And it was, what kind of nerves did you have, or something, some memory that stuck with you till date, or a learning experience that you still follow to date?
I think my learning experience, which has come back to me, and that's where I connected Vicky Dona once again back to Uri days, is again, if it's a good script, all your answers lie down in that script, are there in there. So read your script thoroughly to the point that you're tired. It tires you, and you like, that's where your work begins. So the importance of homework, the importance of prep is what I'm trying to say. Every approach to every film will be different. Every director is different. But the for me, the seed mantra is to do that prep work, and it lies in your script. Because for Vicky Dona, I remember we rehearsed, we आपको workshops bolo, readings bolo. We used to do that a lot. Also, we were like really raw, really no. एक तो वो है. दूसरा, I think, no, I look back at it so fondly. I mean, we knew somewhere at the heart of our heart that Shurida, for the person that he is, he's going to, the concept is fund donation, but it's going to be a family film. It's going to be a film loved by families, and that is what happened. And it's nowhere going to be anything else apart from that. But to get this kind of success, like I remember we were promoting the film, and somebody asked, how much do you think it'll make at the box office? I had a very weird number in my mind, but I remember John saying around 25, 30 or something, and we were like, wow, 25, 30, like my film, it made double of that. But so these are these small things, which I remember that, like we are promoting the film. I remember we were promoting wherever, we were getting an opportunity and getting that window, but didn't even know how to talk, I think, much, or how to, describe the film or the role, or what to expect out of any of this. There was no expectation. And that was the best part also, when there's no problem starts, and when okay, that happens, uske baad kya? Uske baad, then there is nothing. Then you're on your own, and figure out your path. What is your path? So the main journey started after the success of Vicky Dona. And so I look back at it so fondly. There's so many memories, so many nice memories, and where we used to all stay in a guest house. वही guest house मेरा bank भी बनता था सुबह, and उसी में सुबह रिसेप्शन पे वो बैंक बन जाता, उसको बैंक बना देते थे. तो ऐसी बहुत सारी चीजें की है, and तो बहुत मजा आया था उसमें. And I feel so, I take a lot of pride in saying that, yeah, I was my debut film. In my debut film, I was a part of a path-breaking film and a path-breaking script. So, really happy.
Right, I remember, I think I was in my last year of college. I think there was so much hesitation around, like a lot of boys were there, and I think I was like, are we going to watch it together? Because I think at that time, it is like a different time now. We've not had this...
Although it's just 10 years, but so much has changed.
So much has changed.
10 years.
I think I'm glad to be experiencing things changing in cinema.
Yeah, I mean, see, the success of that film showed the progressive minds of the audience, right? They enjoyed it. They took it in the stride. They connected with it with exactly the same intent Shrida made it, or Juhi wrote it. And because there was no malice in that. There was nothing to, it was not made with an intention to sensationalize anything, or to all these things. It had, again, a bigger purpose. It had, which is what the audience connected with, the second half, that it's a taboo. But ask those couples and ask those people who can't have a child, how does it feel? So there's always seeing the bigger picture. And of course the Punjabis and the bongs, and it was like I was the only one who was and that reverse casting wala thing, because me coming from North, but I had to play a Bengali, and I remember during all the look tests, Rida used to say, too Punjabi, you're too Punjabi, you're too Punjabi, too speak too fast. Or dhire, or aram se, or pause, or pause. So now to the extent that back there, my friends, apart from my friends, but people didn't connect with me that I'm from Chandigarh. And when I went to Kolkata, they thought I'm a Bengali. So I think that's we did something right there with the
That's
character.
true.
So till date, when I shot for Lost in Kolkata, my God, some of them, they still feel I'm from Kolkata, and it's sweet. I think take it as a compliment.
Is there a recent performance that completely like overwhelmed you in a way, like a film that you watched or a show that you watched that you were very impressed by in performances?
I love Michael Keaton. I really like the show called Dope Sick. I thought Michael Keaton, again, he's a fantastic actor. I can't wait to watch The Father. Anthony Hopkins, I've heard he's done a terrific job. My day has to end by watching something. It could be now today's, it could be something from the past, it could be comedy, it could be The Office also, it could be anything, but I'll watch.
I've yet to watch it.
Watch it. I mean, I was watching second season. I couldn't, and I thought I was, I mean, because there's no dramatic music or there's nothing. I mean, that's performance. I mean, for me, that's why I wish I missed this opportunity of working with Irfan sir. Give him anything. He'll just make it look so easy.
He like such an effortless actor. I can understand what you're talking about. He's such an effortless actor. Thank you so much, Yami. But before if you want to get into like good content and everything, watch some of the Korean shows. I think you'll love it.
yeah. I watched Squid Game, yes.
So there is that. But thank you so much for talking to me today. I hope I asked you everything. Was there something I missed out that you would like to talk about?
No, considering I've answered three questions in your one this thing, I think we've covered up a lot.
I hope you enjoyed the conversation.
I did. Of course I did. And that's why I opened up, so much. And it's not just like a question answer thing. I'm also thinking, I'm also, just throwing in things, whatever's coming to my mind. And yeah, it was fun.
And all the very best for everything that you have in store.
Thank you. I hope to talk to you again for the next one too.
Thank you so much. Now it's validating. Now I'll have to do more.
Same, yeah. I'm going to especially say, listen, I want to talk to, hi, hey, Farzan. We'll do it. Monica first. And then we'll come back to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All the very best. I'm looking forward to everything that you have in store.
Thank you. Thank you, Monica.
Bye. Have a good day.